Hello again, Transformer fans. This is Sparkster1701, and today we're going to show one of the original Autobot toys. This is Gears. Gears was released as part of the original toys in 1984, and he would be sold in 1985. He would be discontinued in 1986, where part of his function of transport and reconnaissance would be taken over that year by two other guys. The aerial bot Fireflight and the triple changer Sandstorm would take over his reconnaissance duties. It's not been said as to who would take over his transport duties. In 1986, though, when he would be discontinued, his toy would be remolded into Swerve. As you can see just by looking at the two of them, the main obvious difference, besides the colors, is the head mold would be considerably different on the two toys. When E-Hobby decided a few years ago to re-release the mini vehicles and dub them GoBots, Gears here would be reformatted and claimed to be the GoBot Smallfoot. Even though, as you can see, Smallfoot is just a shade taller than Gears. And if nothing else, she at least looks like a real truck when she's transformed. You know, a little closer here on him. Back up a little bit. That's better. Alright, Gears here started off as one of the Microchange Robo toys, and that's sort of evident somewhere on him that he is one of the original Microchange. It's right there on the hood of the truck. That M insignia on there showed that he was part of the Microchange line, which is where he and Huffer, Bumblebee, and all the others came from. And right there on the top of the truck, you can see the rub sign that was added. So this makes him the 1985 version of the toy. Gears has always been a strange character in the fact that he is the antisocial misfit of the group, not really getting along with anybody and always being depressed. Part of it being due to him being homesick for Cybertron and such, but also at the futility of the Transformer War. But in the Marvel Comics version, surprisingly enough, while he retained that personality, he was able to become friends with Spider-Man, of all people. Go figure. Spidey will make friends with anybody anymore, it seems. Alrighty, let's adjust the camera back down. Hello, Gears. And let's transform him. Since the way he is, he's pretty simple. Now, before we transform him, let's take a look at his articulation. His arms are free to rotate all the way around at the shoulders. That's something to watch for when you're buying loose samples, as many transformations will cause them to be drooping. As you've been seeing him do here on mine, he's reaching behind himself, so I don't know if he's going for a gun or if he's scratching his back. He also has articulation at the knee, so he can kind of make it look like he's trying to run. Run! Run away! The zombies are coming! One thing to also check on him on loose samples is to take a good look at the chrome here on his legs, as many a battle can scratch him up. Like right here on the left leg here, he's got a pretty large gash on the chrome. Some people, that's a big deal. Others, not so much. He's also got chrome right here on the front bumper of the truck. Now let's transform Gears, and that's a simple affair. You just fold the arms down to his sides and push them inwards. This toy's seen a lot of action, so he's going to be a fight with me here. Then you also fold the legs up at the knee, and then there you have it. He becomes a four-wheel drive off-road truck of indiscriminate model. It's a similar feature that he and his fellow mini vehicle Huffer would suffer from, as they are made to look like toy versions of vehicles, and you really can't be specific as to what vehicle he is. He does have plastic wheels, unlike a few of his compatriots who have rubber wheels. But he does roll pretty easily on this table here. So, take the good with the bad, I guess. Alright, now we're going to take a look at Gears' tech specs, but to do that, I'm going to show you his card backer, and he does have different card backers depending on the year that he was released. This, for example, is the 1984 original card backer, which has a good picture of him. This would be one of the later ones. Nope, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. This is the 1985 version of him. Had it the wrong way because it has this here on the back. This is the 1984 version, which basically had a good picture of the robot here. And then down here on this side, he'd be in his truck mode. On the back side, you'll see that in this year, in early of 84, they would have them packaged as the vehicle, and then you would change him into the robot. Whereas by 85, when they started putting the rub signs on him, they would put a picture of the vehicle on here because he would be packaged on this side here as the robot. And the order would be done in reverse. This was probably likely done to make them sort of resemble the GoBots on their packaging as well, since the GoBots were packaged in their robot modes. Plus, you also get to see that it has the different murals on here. This is the 1984 mural. And then on this version here is the 1985 one, which highlighted the Dinobots. Gears down here was worth only half a robot point. And on the 1985 version, it showcased up here the directions on how to work the rub sign on the front, on the top of the toy. And, like the other mini-bots at that time, the tech spec was printed sideways on the back of the package. It has a good picture here of Gears, which matches the one here on the front of the package. It's printed in red and shows him as an Autobot. It gives his name as Gears, and his function is transport and reconnaissance. His motto is, "Nobody wins a war, somebody loses." And that kind of sums up his sour attitude. Gears is an antisocial, a self-proclaimed misfit. Finds fault in everything and everyone. Acts this way to help cheer others up as they try to cheer him up. Tremendous strength and endurance. Totes heavy loads long distances. Launches to height of 20 miles. Floats down on compressed air. Becomes an easy target due to limited maneuverability. Can detect infrared. So that makes him somewhat useful, and the launching ability apparently comes from boosters in his legs. As in one of the comic books, he was using that to glide up a large mountain, while his buddy Spider-Man simply used his webbing to climb up and swing up. And at some point, when Gears failed to be able to keep going, Spider-Man had to tow him along. How embarrassing. Alright, we'll put the decoder here on the tech specs, and we can see his statistics. It gives his strength as 8, his intelligence at 7, his speed is listed at 6, and his endurance is 7. His rank is 6, his courage is 9, his firepower is a measly 1, and his skill is 7. So he's pretty decent at his job. It's just if he gets into a firefight, he's going to need somebody else to help him out. So with that low skill of firepower, his weapons are not going to hurt anybody. And this concludes my review of the Autobot Transport and Reconnaissance figures Gears. If you found this video, and I hope you found this video informative, especially if you're looking to get yourself a Gears figure. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up here on YouTube, and please do mash that subscribe button. That's what helps to keep this channel functioning. This is Sparkster1701 saying catch y'all later.